Ministry, every leader and every person who connects themselves with God at some point going to find themselves challenged. You're going to be challenged sometimes even when you did not do anything to warrant the challenge, because there's always going to be an enemy. There's always going to be something or someone who feels like they can challenge you for who you are in God. You must understand, ladies and gentlemen, that there is an enemy, and he's real, and he does not want to see the people of God go forward. He does not want to see the people of God come out of their crisis. He does not want to see the people of God get to the place that God has designed for them. So he comes, and when he comes with all kinds of stuff that he presents to us to make us feel like we're really not who God said we are. But then there comes a time that we have to grow up and remember that I am who God says I am. And I can have what God says I can have. And I can be who God says I can be. I ain't preaching to nobody yet but Bishop. So there comes a time when you're going to be challenged based on the fact that I believe and trust what God said. Everybody in this room that is a real believer in God and what he said about you and what he said to you in his word, at some point you better prepare to be challenged. You better be ready for the enemy to walk up in your face and try to get you to turn away from what you know is real. But if I got anybody, as I get started early, if I got anybody in here that's already decided that I got a made up mind, and no matter what the enemy throws at me, I still trust God. I just want to know if I'm preaching to anybody in church on a Sunday evening that's still trusting God. In spite of your situation, in spite of where you are, you're still trusting God. I can't preach to some of y'all. I need to preach to somebody who's really saying, I was like, Pastor Epps, I've been going through hell, but I still trust God. Pastor Epps, the enemy has been coming into my path. The enemy has been walking into my door. The enemy has been coming into my living room and sitting down, but I still trust God. The enemy has hit my health. The enemy has hit my money. He's hit my family. He's hit everything about me. But Pastor Epps, if the truth be told, I still trust. It is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The Bible gives this account of these three Hebrew boys who were grown up and who were raised up in the Chaldean faith and who understood what it was to worship the true God. But now they find themselves under pressure. And the reason they find themselves under pressure because an unjust king by the name of Nebuchadnezzar, who has set up a idol in the plains of Duroc, and what he has done is he has decided that he has become the God that would replace the ultimate God. And let me tell you something, whether you believe it or not, there's some folk in your life who really think that you ought to treat them as God rather than treat God as God. That's why they look at you and say, what's happening to you? That's why when God really becomes effective in your life, there's some folk who wonder why they can't tell you what to do no more. There's some folk that wonder why you don't fall for their tricks no more. There's some folk who wonder why you don't play their games no more, because they think that they become the God. But if I got anybody in here on a Sunday evening that will tell the devil, I ain't got but one God that I'm going to serve, and that's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And so it is. They're under pressure now. And it's something, Bishop, when you have to be under pressure in leadership, because it's a bad thing and it's an awful thing to have to be committed, but still at the same time, while you're committed, God Almighty, you're committed, but you still at the same time have to be affected by something that's from an outside realm that you really wasn't looking for. And so now they are committed, but at the same time they're committed, they're conflicted.
Yes, sir.
How do I do what I do? Feeling like I feel. How do I do what I do? Dealing with what I'm dealing with. How do I tell folk that God gonna bless you financially when I'm broke? How can I tell folk God's a healer when I'm sick? So sometimes it's hard to be committed and conflicted at the same time. I'm gonna preach whether y'all want to hear preaching or not. I'm gonna preach by myself. I got used to having church by myself when I first got saved, and I still know how to have church by myself. And so now here they are dealing with an unjust king by the name of Nebuchadnezzar. And so because they did not do what he said, he made a threat to their life. Ain't that just like the enemy? That when you put him in his place, won't he come back and make a threat in your life? He'll come back and attack you on a level that you really wasn't looking for. He'll come back and attack you in a place that you didn't think he would. And so Nebuchadnezzar told him, he said, listen, every time you hear the music, drop down on your knees, bow down and worship me. But here's what I love about those three boys. He said, even though they heard what he said, they didn't have to do what he said do. And I came to tell about 15 people that'll holler back at me. Just because the devil gives you a request, don't mean you got to honor his request. Because here's what they did. They heard the request, but they had enough power to resist the request. And I wonder if I got anybody in here that's still strong enough in God to resist the request of the enemy. So they did. And because they resisted the request, they were now in the crosshairs of Nebuchadnezzar. And he said, boys, I'm coming at you. And he told them, he said, look, I got power. Here's what he said. I got power to decide whether you walk or whether you die. I got power. And see, some of you don't even know it, but by the time you get home, there is an enemy that's going to tell you, I got power to decide what you do. Watch me bring it to the church. Some of y'all can't even say amen now because the enemy is telling you, I got power whether you shout or whether you keep your mouth shut. Some of y'all can't say nothing now because the enemy creeped in here and sat beside you and told you, I dare you to say something. I don't care how good he preached, you better not open your mouth. But oh, if I can get somebody that'll bust the devil upside his head and tell him God been too good. Touch your neighbor and tell him you've been too good to keep my mouth shut. Tell him he brought me too far to keep my mouth shut. I ain't about to let no devil, I ain't about to let no enemy, I ain't about to let no demon dictate how I praise. You're in my hands. What he didn't know is that you might have made the rules, Nebuchadnezzar. But what he didn't know, he might have made the rules, but he wasn't running things. I came to tell 25 folks who will scream like you ain't got good sense. The devil might can orchestrate, but he can't regulate. Because he can hit, but God knows he can't stop me. He can slow down, but he can't make me quit. And if I got anybody in here beside me in Henderson that's determined that I ain't gonna quit, I don't care what the devil shows me. Sickness come, I ain't gonna quit. Brokenness come, I ain't gonna quit. Hurt come, I ain't gonna quit. Touch your neighbor and tell him I ain't gonna quit. Turn around and hit somebody in the head and tell him I'm not bound to. So, yes, sir. I feel a little better here. King says, all right, you got choice. You can either do what I tell you, or you can face the consequences. Yes. Told the officials, go get him, bring him into the boardroom. Yes, sir. I want to talk to him. Yeah. They looked at the king and said, before you get started, ain't no discussion. Yeah. Our mind is already made up. Bishop, our minds to do this have got to be made up. Because this comes with scars. This comes with tears. This comes with pain. This comes with broken hearts. This comes with lies and rumors. This comes with people backbiting. And so in order to do this and be strong in this, you got to have
he said to them, there's no discussion. He says, do what you got to do. It's all right, King. In other words, here's what they said. They said, whatever you got, bring it.
That's right. Yes.
Bring it. You know what I look forward to? I look forward to the day when the saints get back to like they used to be. When they would tell the enemy, I don't care what you threaten me with. You can take a lot of stuff, but you sure can't take my dances. You sure can't take my praises. You sure can't take my shout. You can take my money, but I'll shout with no money. You can take my help, but I'll shout feeling bad in my pocket. I ain't got no help in here. I wish I had some saints in here that would tell the devil, I don't care what you bring, but you can't take what God gave. He says,
thank you, Jesus.
Do what you have to do. And he said, my God, here's something I want to say to Bishop and you. He says, the reason we can say that is that our God is able.
Yes.
Our God is able to deliver us. Listen to what he said.
Yeah.
Our God is able to deliver us. Now, to most folk, that just sounds like an old-time church cliche. But for some of us who are wrapped up in some stuff right now, and for some of us who are struggling with some systematic symptoms right now, and don't understand how we gonna go forward, you need to lay your hands on your own self this time, not your neighbor, and say, my God is able to deliver. Matter of fact, why don't we go and have church? Look all the way down your row and tell everything on your row, my God is able to deliver us out of whatever we find out. Yes, Lord. And then I like what he said. Now the preacher in them is standing up. The preacher in them is standing up now, Bishop.
Yes, sir.
They said, let me go you one more, King. If not. If he chooses not to. Because after all, it's God's call. If he chooses not to deliver us, our opinion is the same. You still won't get nothing out of us except our God is able. So let me talk to somebody who think that just because you're going through a storm that it's over right now. You need to learn how to tell every devil in your life, even if he don't deliver me, you still have the ability to get me through. If I'm sick, he can get me through. If I'm broke, he can get me through. If I got emotional problems, he can get me through. He's still able. I dare you to high five somebody and almost break their hand and tell them, my God is able. Nebuchadnezzar, I need 9 minutes and I'm going. Nebuchadnezzar says to them, all right, you want to play that game? He calls the officials and he says, look, turn up the heat. Turn it up. 7 times the norm. Can I tell you what's wrong with some of y'all? Y'all ain't tired. Y'all ain't worn out from this morning. You know what it is? The enemy has turned up the heat 7 times the norm. And you running around here talking about I'm feeling bad in my body. Now this ain't no body thing. This is a spirit thing. And the only way you gonna get it back, the only way you gonna defeat it is you gonna overcome the devil by a praise for your God who's able to deliver you. I ain't even talking to the whole room right now, Bishop. I'm only talking to the people who can praise him. Watch this. Not after you get better, but right where you are right now. I'm only talking to the people who can open your mouth and bless him right where you their feet and bind their hands.
Yes, God. Speak, sir.
But then he messed up. He messed up. He said, tie their feet. I'm in the scripture.
Yes.
Tie their hands. But before you throw them in, put on their hoses, their hats, and their coat.
That's what he said.
But wait, King, you said throw them in and burn them up. Put on their hat, their coat, and their hose. That's where he messed up. He didn't realize that because they were connected to God, he was getting them dressed for the fight. Can I help 20 people? When you're going through a storm, stop looking like you're in a storm. I said this morning to the church, it's easy to tell when y'all going through because it's written all over your face. You are sure to die. But you know, I got some advice for you. If you're going through something, put on some clothes, fix your hair, put on your shoes, put on your makeup and look like somebody, because you got to get dressed up for the fire. Church folk. Church folk. Go through a storm and walk around in a bathrobe all day. Church folk. Walk around in slippers all day. Church folk. Going to the grocery store looking like you get ready to go to the junkyard. You better fix up and put yourself together because you are a child of the King. You ought to know. I wish you'd look at somebody and tell them, I don't care what you're going through. You better dress up. I dare you to get 3 people in your proximity and tell them you better dress up. Sad. I'm a child of the King. Dress up.
You're doing good now.
Punch somebody with your elbow, tell them you better dress up, baby. Oh, see, when you dress up, you can overcome a fire. Because sometimes when you feel better, and sometimes when you look better, because sometimes it ain't only what you sound like, it's what you look like too. Stop going to the grocery store in your bathrobe. Stop going to the grocery store in your pajamas. Oh, I think I just touched on something. Put your clothes on. Dress up. And look like somebody. Last time I'm going to tell you, punch your neighbor, tell him you better dress up. And look like somebody. Dress up. And look like somebody. Dress up. Y'all gotta leave me alone now. I'm working on my 8 minutes, y'all. Dressed up, put them in the fire. See, there's a reason though. Because when I dress up, even though I'm in a storm, what it says to the world is I still got hope. Because let me help you with something that most folks won't tell you. A lot of times people don't want to see you dressed up. They like the tears. They like you looking pitiful. Honey, what's wrong there last year? But they ain't asking because they care. They asking because they want to be able to tell it when they leave you, to go tell everybody what's going on in your life. That's why you got to know when to keep your mouth shut. I gave you that one for free. Everybody don't need to know what you're going through. I said it over here, let me say it over here. Everybody don't need to know what you're going through. And so Nebuchadnezzar, in my 8 minutes just left, sat back in his recliner and got comfortable. See, Bishop, when they hit us, when the enemy hits us, for some reason or another, he gets a different level of joy. He can hit them, all day long, and he throws a small party. But when he hit us, he throws a feast. Because he felt like he's taking down somebody who was so connected to God that we could understand even the mind of God. So that's why he comes after folks like you and me. He can't get us to quit. So he comes at us with sickness. Yes, sir. Yes. I'm going to preach to you for a minute. He can't get us to quit through all the other mess we have to go through. So he attacks our body. And when he attacks our body, it's a hope to attack our mind. Because he understands that if I can attack the mind, then they can't function the way they ought to function. And so the reason why I'm preaching today, and you online when you say I didn't feel good, you right, then you got your sermon is right on, But you know what? I was determined to tell every devil that tried to keep me from coming to new life, every devil that tried to make me go home and lay in my bed, I'm going to preach because that's what God called me to do. And you can attack my body, but you sure can't take his word. I need 22 people who can celebrate the word of God. As long as I'm preaching God's word and doing his will, he will protect this body. He sits back in his recliner.
That's good.
He sits back in his recliner. And he says, how's it going down there at the furnace? They said, well, the king, the fire was so hot. It consumed those that threw them in.
Yes.
Even burned them. He said, oh my goodness. He says, well, if the fire consumed them that were on the outside, it must have destroyed them without a doubt that was on the inside.
Yes.
See, let me stick a pin there. When you're going through and people see how it affects your family members or see how it affects your friends and loved ones. If I'm going through and my children are crying, if I'm going through and my wife is weeping, the enemy says, if it's hitting them on the outside that bad, it must really be destroying him. But I got something for somebody who'd get to holler back at me. What the enemy don't know is there's another inside to my inside. Something on the inside that even though the fire is raging, I'm standing in the middle of it still praising God. Even though the fire is raging, I'm standing in the middle of it still talking about how good God is. Why? Because I got an inside on the inside. And because of this, the fire won't consume me. And so he says, what about the Hebrew boys? They say they're in there. They're in there. They're in there. Put your hand on yourself and say, I'm in there. Because sometimes you got to tell the truth in church. Pastor, I don't know how you know, Pastor, but I'm in there. And because I know my friend, I understand when you're in there. And so when you're in there, you got to be honest enough to admit I'm in there. And I'm not admitting it because I'm going to stay in there. I'm admitting it because I'm on my way out of here. That's why I can tell the truth and say, yeah, I'm in here, but I ain't in here for long because I'm coming out of this. And if I got 12 people who believe you're coming out of this, I dare you to give God about a 15-second praise and say, I'm in it now, but watch yourself, because I ain't about to stay in here. Oh, I'm down now, but I ain't going to stay down. I'm sick now, but I ain't going to stay sick. I'm broke now, but I ain't going to stay broke. Somebody lift your voice and say, I'm coming out. I'm coming out of this. Touch your neighbor and tell him, I'm coming out of this. Put in three. Put in three. They grabbed Bishop Bishop Shadrach, Associate Minister Meshach. Got a deacon.
What Deacon Green?
Give me somebody.
Come here, Bruce. Right.
Come here, bro.
Come here, Deacon.
And they grab
Deacon Mayfield.
Deacon. There you go, close enough. They grab Bishop Shadrach, Associate Minister Meshach, and Deacon Abednego. See, this is the attack on the church. Y'all don't even see it, but I'm trying to show you something. Y'all don't even see it, but I'm trying to show you something. This is how the devil attacks the church. He hits the leadership. So he put them in the fire, all three of them together, bound in their hands and bound in their feet, because he understood that there's nothing that can break you once the fire hits you. But what he didn't know, but there was a fire already burning before they put the fire in the furnace. Can somebody just act like the fire department is on this way and shout fire in here? Can somebody just act like somebody just called 911 and shout fire? I said, can somebody act like the fire department is on its way to Red Oak and just stand to your feet, open your mouth and shout fire? Give me 16 people that'll scream loud fire! Said we put three in. He said we put three in. He said we put three in. He said, but I looked in a while ago. Here's my clothes. This is my clothes right here. He said the three that we put in, I know the fire should have burned them, but when I looked, I saw movement. I saw movement where they ought to be death. I saw movement where there ought to be a demise. He said, I don't know what it is exactly, but through the channels of the flames, I can see something moving. And so as they began to walk, and as they began to come more clear in the smoke, he said, wait a minute, it's Shadrach. Yes. It's Meshach. Yes. And over in the corner, it's Abednego. King said, ain't no way. They said, I don't know what happened, but somehow the fire wasn't hot enough to consume the men of God. Oh, if I could get 15 people to understand that point I just made. Somehow the fire, even though it's hot, it's not hot enough to consume. Tell your neighbor I'm here tonight because the fire didn't consume me. I showed up because the fire didn't consume me. Everybody that know the fire didn't consume you, give God about a 13 second prayer because the fire did not. You get here as much as you've been through, because the fire didn't consume me.
Yes, Lord.
Said I don't just see them, but they're walking. They're walking.
Go ahead.
They're walking.
Yeah.
They're walking. You went through quite a storm last year.
Yeah.
There were some folk who wondered when Bishop would walk through these doors again. And I'm going to say it because I ain't scared. There were some folks who were overjoyed when you walked through these doors. And there were some folk who were disappointed when you walked through these doors. Because everybody didn't want to see you get well. But the reason why you're here, son, is because the fire couldn't consume you. And when you walk through the doors, you walked in the name of Jesus. I dare you to walk right now and just let it look. some of y'all, after God heal you, and after God bless you, you keep sitting. God, with some of y'all, is after he bless you, you get too comfortable. But God didn't bless you to sit still. God bless you to walk. God didn't heal you to sit still. He healed you to walk. I need somebody who ain't ashamed of your game. Just prove to the devil you ain't take my walk. You think you took something from me, but you didn't take my walk. Just walk on through the sanctuary and let every devil know you didn't take my walk. I showed up to walk. I'm walking for my freedom. I'm walking for my healing. I'm walking for my church. Wow! They said, well, I see the three walking. But when I look again, I see a fourth figure. And the fourth kind of sort of maybe looks like kind of favor. Sort of remind me of. Could be related to. Might be first cousin. To the son. Yes. Of God.
Yes, yes.
I ain't got time to go where I want to go because I got to get out of here. If I had time, I'll tell you about what they were seeing and then realize they were seeing the pre-incarnate body of Jesus Christ.
Go ahead.
Sitting in the pit with them. They didn't realize that there was somebody in it with them. Here's my last statement, Bishop, for you and the church. I don't care where you are. Take comfort for the fact that somebody in it with you. I shared this story with my church some months ago. That was a granddaddy. I'm a granddaddy now, thank God. Who had a blood grandbaby. And she was screaming, crying, screaming, crying. Every time she screamed and cried, granddaddy go pick her up out of the playpen. And the daughter said, look, stop picking her up. Granddaddy put her down, she cried, he go back, pick her up out of the playpen. Daughter said, look, if you keep taking out the playpen, I ain't gonna let you come see her no more. So granddaddy went back the third time, baby started screaming. Granddaddy got his leg up, jumped over into the playpen and sat outside the baby. Daughter came in the room, daughter said, what you doing in the playpen? He said, well, you told me I couldn't take her out, but you couldn't told me I couldn't get in here with her. Somebody should have shouted like that. Here's what I came to tell you. Even if God don't get you out, you ought to praise him because he'll get over it. I said, even if he don't get you out, you ought to praise him because he'll get over it with you. Somebody that believe it. I dare you to give God a praise because he will. somebody. He always sends somebody. You never, but he has an innumerable company of angels. God help me. And he will send somebody. I'm through, son. Y'all can play something soft. I'm through. I done hit the last gear with you. And when God looked at their condition in the furnace, he called the archangel Michael. Because Michael is a warrior. And he said, Michael, I need you to go fight for them in the furnace. Michael said, I'm on my way. Took Michael too long, so he called Gabriel. And he said, Gabriel, need you to go because Gabriel is a protector. He said, go protect them from the flames. Gabriel said, I'm on my way. Took Gabriel too long. God called again, said, Raphael. He said, I want you to go down to the furnace because Raphael, the archangel, is a healer. So he said, go down and heal them from the burns of the flame. Raphael said, I'm on my way. Then he looked to the right side of his throne and he said, Jesus. Jesus said, Daddy, I'm already there. You ain't got to wait on him. He's already there. I dare somebody to give him glory because he's already here. I need two people that know that he's in your corner, that know that he's on your side, to give him a Sunday evening, give them prayer. Come on. Yes. 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 Here's my last point. Get my coat train. We out of here. The most exciting part of this text, Bishop, for folk like you and me, the end of that text that I read says, and they came out. And they came out. Let me find somebody who ain't too tired and ain't too lazy to celebrate the fact that you came out. It's at the last part of that text says, and they came out. They thought you were going to stay in, but you came out. They thought you weren't coming through, but you came out. They thought it was over, but you came out. Let's go to work. They came. I need to see somebody who will make the devil mad because you came out. still